Welcome back to Inspection Pro Joe, episode 9. Today we have with us Nathan Thornberry. We're very happy to have you on today, Nathan.
I'm elated to be here.
Yep. We're so excited to have Nathan on. When I think of the pioneers of the inspection industry, I think of Nathan Thornberry, I think of Nick Gromyko, I think of Kevin O'Malley. You guys have done so much to add tremendous value to inspectors. We were just at your conference, the Super Inspection Conference in Indianapolis, and just rubbing shoulders with some of the greatest inspection minds. And you brought that all together. And I remember just sitting in and you releasing on the day that you talked, just so much knowledge that you have. You, to me, represent just such a great business mind in our industry. And we're just so extremely excited for you to share what you're doing with the industry. You know, where do you see the industry headed? And we're just excited to have you. So thanks for being here.
Great. Well, I appreciate that. Quite the introduction. I'll try not to disappoint. So, I mean, let's talk about a specific topic, anything in home inspection. Hit me. It's not even that early in the morning.
All right. I got a question for you. On the surveys you did on your website that were very impressive, I was wondering what you thought about the answers to why people pick home inspectors. I was surprised that price isn't even on the top two responses, that it was actually experience was the top response, and the second response was something else that was surprising. Maybe it was that if they were recommended. I think it was the recommendation.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I'm wondering if there are any really interesting insights that you could, share and say, hey, you might have this misconception, but this is what people actually think. This is what consumers actually think. And, this is a misconception or a myth that you need to get over to actually be able to grow.
So you can't take just one question and, come up with the answer to that. Because if you ask people what's important, which is the question you were alluding to, if I had put the question correctly, price would be in the top 3 for sure. Mm-hmm. But I put it a certain way so we could get a feel that if consumers actually knew who home inspectors were, if they were actually aware of home inspectors, if they could remember a single home inspection company's name, which they can't. Sorry, phoners, you don't have brands. You never will. It's been 40 years. It's not going to happen. So, if you don't know who a home inspector is, then how are you going to find a home inspector? And we have to go back to, okay, how does that happen? Well, in reality, a high 90% of the time, it's the real estate agent who gives either a list of 3 or a preferential 1 or something along those lines. And then they have, it starts dwindling down the things that they can use to differentiate one choice over the other. And then, it comes down to cliche and then function. So the cliche answer, 36% of them said experience. And then, 20+%, almost 30% said warranty coverage. That was number 2. And then after that was price. Mm-hmm. And then they reluctantly say, well, if it's a trusted referral, that could count. And so, you have to take all of these different answers and put them together. But, this is obvious to anyone who has experience in real estate and in home inspection. This is a referral game, number 1. And number 2, it's about operating in a way that you understand the real estate transaction and that you can create a positive client experience. Reality is that most inspectors go out and they, check for reverse polarity in outlets, and then the next day, don't call me.
Yep. No, that's so true. I think when you touch on like experience, I think people think that experience means they have to have years in this game. It's people's perception of your experience. And so that's marketing. It's how are you marketing yourself to, one, look experienced, to show that so people want to go with you. And that's, I think, what you're limited to is marketing, and then the coverage. People want to feel that sense of security, and that's where that experience comes from. And then by going with you, they know if something happens down the road, there's protection that I can rely on because of my home inspection. And
Absolutely.
but I think that, I don't want listeners to say, oh, well, I don't have experience. No. You do. If you got a license and you've been out on the road, it's how you position yourself to be that experienced inspector.
Let's talk about experience here for a second, because it's all an illusion. If you go out on your website, and I see inspectors do this, they'll be, this is a third and fourth career for some guys. And they're really proud of their experience, and they should be, like me and them having, well, they can have a beer. I'll have some sort of liquor. I've never had a beer, but we could drink and talk about those experiences, and I could, appreciate everything that they are. There are family members of mine in that category that would put a gray-haired picture of themselves on their way to a fishing trip with bragging about their 35 or 40 years of experience. Dude, don't have 35 or 40 years of experience. Find a picture of yourself from 20 years ago and say 20 years. It's fine. Anything over 10 is good. Now, on the zero experience level, nobody wants to be the first guy to get, a cavity removed by that dentist. Like that sounds like it could be painful. So, what experience did you have outside of this industry, and what education could you go and get that can give you some credibility so people aren't nervous about being your first?
Yep. Exactly. No, it's so true. And I think, for those inspectors, it's not as much about the experience, it's about again, positioning that, and being open. I always tell our inspectors that go out for the first time, don't pretend to know everything. People see right through that, and I think one of the ways that you build trust is by you're doing an inspection and somebody asks, hey, what's that? And you may not know, you may have never seen it before. And there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I don't know, but I'm going to get an answer for you. And as long as you go out and get that answer, you end up building trust through follow-up. And that's one of the key ways that trust is built is, you talk about that customer experience. Well, what follow-up do you have with that customer? Is it an email that goes out? Is it, a warranty service that you're providing to them after the fact? And those are all the ways that trust is built. So, when we release an inspector just out there, it's never like, hey, don't pretend to know everything. People see right through that. And if they can tell you don't know what the hell you're talking about because you're trying to act like you know what you're doing, you lose them completely. You lose the trust. That realtor never will want you around her clients ever again.
We have here at Residential Warranty Services and the Inspection Services Group roughly 4,000 websites. One of them has around 700 pages, and you asked a question about one of those pages. So next.
So I guess what are you doing to help inspectors build that credibility with the consumer? What are some of the cool things, or I don't want to say top three because I think that's kind of cliche, but what when it comes to your forefront, when it comes to making sure adding value to those inspectors and making their USPs better?
Well, warranty coverage is our primary thing that we do in the home inspection business, and it leads back to our mission, which is to eliminate liability for all parties in the real estate transaction. And that includes the buyers, includes the sellers, it includes the home inspectors for sure. I was, born to two of them, and the real estate agents too. And there's lots of ways that you can do that. The best way is to simply have a method to pay for all of the things that are the gaps in real estate, the things that aren't covered by the inspection or the seller's disclosure, aren't covered by transactional warranties like the ones we sell here and American Home Shield and those and alike do. So that's how you build a product that creates a great experience. All of the words and all of the salesmanship in between, we give some guidance on that, but that's not our primary motivation. You can go to any one of our products and services and it will guide you back to a risk reduction for somebody.
Yeah.
Even in our lab, we have the #1 environmental lab in the home inspection industry. We test for everything. I mean, water samples, lead, asbestos, mold, of course, and there's a whole list of water samples, water quality stuff. And anyway, not only is it a giant lab, the quickest lab with all the accreditations, with technology nobody else has, with we're launching in Q1 a 6-day schedule. So we're true next day and can do water samples any day of the week throughout the country. But what do we do all of that for at a lower price than the other guys? It's because we can reduce the liability and pain points for the home inspector, and we can do it in a very real way. If you test for mold, you probably have a contract that says, my mold test will mean nothing the day after I do my mold test, and I'm responsible for nothing ever. I mean, if you are not a user of Priority Lab, also known as Inspector Lab, your mold testing is absolutely worthless 5 minutes after it was done. So, and you make your clients sign an agreement that says it. It's nonsense. Why not have a real business model where if we test something and it's good and we did our job diligently and the results came back, as you would like them to, no mold or no problems or normal, then if you have a problem tomorrow, you should expect that it's paid for. And that's why we do that, and why every mold test comes with our mold safe policy.
I love that. No, I love that. And I think, not only protecting clients, but what you offer, you're allowing inspectors to almost be a one-stop shop for inspection needs by providing all that services through the lab, but also through the warranty stuff. Even when I'm at conferences, the biggest companies there offer a warranty to their clients.
Absolutely.
And I can't tell you how many times guys come up to me and be like, nobody else around my area does it, and I get business just because I have a warranty. And for my company too, like, hey, we went with you because you're a one-stop shop. I don't have to go to a different company to get a mold inspection, to get a radon inspection, to get water testing done and all that stuff. And that makes the difference. And because they're using me, I can give that to them at a little reduced cost than if they went to 5 different places. Right. And that's huge, guys. And so, for our listening, if you're not protecting yourself by using great services like ProLab and like residential warranty services, you need to be using something very similar to make sure you're that one-stop shop and that people feel protected by going with you.
Well, you said,
it goes back.
ProLab. Hold on. You said ProLab. And, we're,
whoops.
No, it's okay. I'm going to stop you there because, this is recorded. It's going to be put out in 8 different methods, promoted to the home inspection industry. And therefore, after having suffered at the hands of frivolous litigation for 4.5 years, that anything I say, I can back up. I have in my possession enough sample cassettes from ProLab that are completely useless to verify that if you're using ProLab right now, there is a good chance that the test results that you're delivering to your clients are not legitimate. And that is a huge issue for us in this industry. And they've never answered to that issue. And I've posted that in many places. There is a media that is alarmingly looks like double-sided tape. We've done everything we can to get spores to stick to it, and we put it under our own microscopes, and it does not work. So, be aware of that. I also posted a video of this, $99 or whatever mold pump that is going way outside of tolerance for liters per minute of error, and it's being marketed as a calibrated, accurate device. So, I'm telling you that it's not. I've posted the proof online.
Yeah.
Sue me if you want.
No.
I'm going to win eventually.
Yeah. So
No,
In that vein, are there any other, maybe misconceptions or things like that people should stay away from if they want to be successful and grow? Any products out there that people should watch out for?
Oh man, that list is so long. It's so long, and it's so dangerous. Like, there are. I'll give you the biggest one, and this has largely dissipated. But years ago there was a few inspectors that promoted the idea of, hey, we'll just do our own warranty, and while it sounds fun and it's like the business equivalent of playing house.
Yeah.
The way that it was done was, not done compliantly. And to this day, there are still some people that are confused by that. They have logos that, deceptively present themselves as a client of ours with our compliance, with our licensing, and then have policies that, not only have no financial backing, no licensure, but also have, strange limits that defeat the purpose and make it so that the customer is hugely disadvantaged. Like they'll have a limit of $200 on HVAC as a sub limit, that sort of thing. And these are really dangerous. It has caused a lot of problems for a lot of people, and it delegitimizes something in a way that you would think would bother home inspectors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I know you offer, what is it, $100,000 worth of coverage after inspection?
So
Coverage with the resident.
I can pull one of my handouts.
Look at
On
that.
cue. So, okay, so here's the deal. We have what we call our flagship and our full package that are the two most popular things that our 8,500 plus customers throughout the US and Canada utilize. And the flagship is, recall check, 90-day warranty, and sewer guard. Like that's a pretty good package. There's a lot of people that do 90-day warranty only, and I'm totally fine with that. We're going to take great care of their clients. But that underground sewer and water line piece, it's 1054. We've probably dug up 3 yards already today. That is a huge damn issue. And I am so happy that the home inspection industry was largely willing to partner with me and protect people from that. I mean, we're talking 60 to 80,000 people a month don't have that risk. And it's a huge one. But we have all these things that, like in our full package, you'd add the mold safe and the 5-year roof leak protection plan, which is a huge liability reducer for everybody involved. And everything else is really just a matter of building whatever your policy is. Because home inspectors love to be unique. They love to have a business that's unique. They don't want to be like everybody else. So, here's your list of stuff and all I'll you know what?
That's huge.
Go to inspectionsuccess.net and then talk to one of our guys, do an individual consultation, and build what is right for your business, both from perception to clients, what the competition looks like in your area, the overall cost. All of these things can be customized, and there's a reason we do it well and for so many people.
I love what you do. And so for the inspectors out there, if you guys are concerned, maybe you don't have the best price in the industry, these are unique selling propositions for your business, where it's not an expense, it's a value add that allows you to increase your inspection price. And you need you need that. And so like you said, like when we were talking about, price is like, it's there, but it's not the best thing. I know for our transaction coordinators, when somebody's arguing price or they're negotiating price, we don't lower the price. We add value to match our price, or that's our job for selling. And these warranty services are just that. It's adding value. Hey, how many do you want that phone call 60 days after the inspection? because the realtors are the first one to get the call typically,
Now,
right?
now you're killing me. You're killing me. All right.
What?
Because, well, all right. Here's a big problem in all industries right now, and this is like the last for whatever reason. This has crept up on us over the last 3 years, and it's worse than COVID, like by a multiple. There is an escape path to real talk about anything in business, and that escape path are some keywords. And I'm gonna bust both of your balls right now.
Do it.
All right, do it.
Mike McKay is a wonderful dude. Mike McKay is the guy that got me to really, really enjoy the new direction of Inspection Go. And let's be very real about what Inspection Go can do for your business. They have a call center. Obviously, I think that's a good idea. I run the largest one in the industry. But two, they took a QuickBooks dude, all right, and there are QuickBooks dudes all over the country. You can find one in your own neighborhood for $300 a month to do your bookkeeping. But they took one QuickBooks dude and they said, let's put everybody in a box because they're one industry. So this guy doesn't have to, like your local guy would, figure out what your P&L should look like. And so that's a really efficient model, and that's straight to the point, no BS. But I did some counting. I watched your podcast with Mike McKay. I was fascinated. The word great was utilized 29 times. The word business 27, industry 15, partnership 15, value 13 times.
Wow.
Resource 11 times, consistency 10 times, excited 10 times because we're excited. Tremendous 9 times. And you guys pulled a Reggie Miller from the playoffs back in the day because you actually said tremendous 3 times within 11 seconds once. It was somewhere towards the middle. Valuable 9, which is kind of value. So let's just call that one 22 overall. Average ticket price 5. Here's the one that really bugged me. And there's a bunch of other words I won't bore you with. Deeper dive. You said deeper dive 3 times. Do you know what happens if somebody says deeper dive around here? We kick them out. They're out the door immediately. The minute somebody comes in and says, I really provide value and we need to do a deeper dive, it's like, okay, at that point, you're full of shit.
What?
Yeah.
No, I think, but no. You have to do a little deeper dive when it comes to the financial of your business. Come on.
That bugs me. This is like Marty McFly's chicken to me. Okay, you say deeper dive to me, I just go nuclear, man.
You brought up those stats and you made me feel like Donald Trump.
Oh yeah, no,
tremendous.
You were
great, valuable.
You got some great Donald Trumpy kind of stuff happening there.
Home inspection's great again.
Yeah, it's important. It's incredible. We're going to do a deeper dive. It's going to be powerful. These guys are powerful. Let me tell you, they're all powerful.
You know what?
They do a stellar job. It's phenomenal.
If it gets the point across, even the redundancy is okay with me. If we're helping even 5 people grow.
What point did it get across that you know every keyword of 2018?
Well,
Next, this is how you make podcasts fun, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it, man. No, I love it.
I'm gonna make you guys legends. If you ask Preston Sandlin which of his podcasts was the most watched and whatever, it's number 99 or 100. It's me. It's like 17 times the next one.
I love it.
So if anyone in our audience is wondering why they can't find the show anymore, it's probably because it's been changed to redundancy podcast or something.
Redundancy, yeah.
Or keyword
tremendous.
Podcast.
We take a deeper
Do you
dive
deliver value? It's so important to deliver value. Great value. That's what you got to do. You got to be a resource. Oh my God, puke.
All right, so help us out here.
I'm just glad you listen to our episode.
Yeah, me too. I'm
I had to go to the bathroom. I had some time. I turned it on.
I turned it on. I love it. See, you were in there for 30
right.
minutes and you listened to a whole episode.
So help us cut through the BS here. What are things that people should actually be focused on? What are the words in the zeitgeist for the home inspection community that people need to be focused on now if they do want to be successful moving forward in 2021?
Oh, metrics. There is a four-legged stool of success in any business, and it's called, volume of times and impressions that you hit somebody.
Yep.
The quality of a product, the features of a product, and then the methodology in which you do it. And, we can talk about the resources and value behind the business and all the administrative stuff all day long. I mean, we have a program. I'll give you something ridiculous. Just one example of something we do for some of the largest home inspection companies in this land, including my parents, by the way. We have a system where they can send all their little complainers. Okay. Everybody that has a problem with you today, hey, no problem. Happy to help you out. I'm going to send you a link to a form. Just fill it out and we'll make sure you get taken care of. They fill out that form and it asks good questions like, was this home bank owned? Is it under renovation? Can you upload a copy of any invoices or estimates from a contractor? That would help us out greatly. Describe your problem. They press enter. That goes in front of a team of now 7 people. We handle thousands of these things a month. And it's anything. It could be something that we spin into a warranty claim. It could be just a complaint against a home inspector. And we triage it. So there are things that come to me if they're going to go legal. There are things that go to Mike Casey if it needs just that huge technical response. So you can have Mike Casey on your staff answering client complaints. We do that stuff all day long. That's a real resource behind. But none of that matters if you don't have the business. And if you're if you're online in a group of like a Facebook group of home inspectors, which is where a lot of knowledge happens.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
and you go, oh, here's the latest.
A lot of BS happens.
Yeah, here's the latest internet thing that we're gonna do to be in front of people, and it's just horse poopy. Look, Joey, you do some business. Do you have some people out there shaking hands and kissing babies with real estate agents?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. So there's no magic pill button of internet whatever thing you push for more business. No. I'll give you
Of course not.
If you want something else, we'll go into top list of BSy stuff for Nathan Thornberry. Reviews are toxic. Okay. It's a good idea to have good reviews. Mm-hmm. It's a good idea to have good standing and good ratings and whatever. And whatever the standard is for your industry, it's a lot different for mine than it is for home inspectors. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of happy to be the punching bag for my clients because they're a local service business and reviews matter a lot. Mm-hmm. But once you have 5.0 stars and you have hundreds of or 100 plus in the last 3 years reviews, cut off the reviews. Okay. Do the internal reviews. I do an internal review with every client that makes a claim, renews a policy, all that stuff. And we deal with, 160 to 170,000 clients a month right now. Do we send them a link to Yelp? No. And you guys that are doing this are handing your client to Yelp to be marketed other vendors that do what you do and the things that you're building in the future. So keep doing that. Keep doing that. Keep hiring and promoting review promotion services. Keep going. It's the best way to share your business with everyone else and not even know it.
So that's really interesting. You're saying once you have over 100 reviews in the last 3 years, you are good to go.
Yeah, if you're a local service business and
you don't need to be
5-star
for reviews,
you're over 100. Yeah, I mean, people need to go there, and if they are checking you, they're checking you for credibility. Nobody goes to Yelp or Google ratings or any of the stuff to find a home inspector or discover that they need a home inspection.
Yeah,
it's not how it works. So so what are you doing when you take that client and you send them there? Well, you just set them up for Yelp's mailing list, and now Yelp knows that they're not only a client of a home inspection company, but that they were gullible enough to go to their rating site. So that person just became a target for all of the follow-up marketing, all of their cookies. And the next time they're around their iPhone in their car alone and they say, man, I really need a home inspection for this next house. Boom, automatic email from Yelp within 3 seconds with somebody other than you.
That's paying them more money to get that business probably too, right?
Yeah. So that sucks. You know, if there's a leak in your ship, it's that. Anytime you put an association name or logo on your website, in your logo, we've seen it built into the logo. You know, association sites unanimously have a 3-click process to find all of your competition. So why would you promote that?
Yeah.
Do I think it's great to belong to an association? Of course, man. At my first ASHI meeting, I was 6. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. It used to be Great Lakes ASHI was, one thing, and then we went to Indiana ASHI and the Chicago, Northern Illinois ASHI and all of these things.
5 years ago?
No,
20 years ago, 20 years ago, 20.
That whole thing started about 20 years ago. That really started morphing because you couldn't get guys to all agree to go to Indianapolis or to Detroit or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, as they got older and less mobile, they had to have the meetings closer. I don't know. But it's fine because now there's more volume of people overall at all those different meetings. But anyway, so I'm a big proponent of associations. I love education. I love that meeting with local guys. There's local issues that can come up that you wouldn't be aware of if you weren't involved. You should be. And there are ways to say, hey, I have all of these certifications, memberships, etc. That doesn't include putting a damn logo of the thing on your website, on your shirt. Have you lost your minds? This is your business.
Yeah.
There's a home warranty association. I would never join it. Not in a million years.
Yeah. I love it. That's it. That's so interesting perspective on all that, because most of us think, again, we're trying to establish credibility. So we put these associations on our website and maybe in our logo on our shirts. And that's such, valuable information for our listeners. It's going to make me reevaluate my website.
Let me give you the opposite of that. If you go to any recall check logo, 90-day warranty logo, residential warranty services, I mean, we're literally the only licensed warranty company that has ever done business in this industry. And we have immense IP. I may have over 100 trademarks. I don't know. I have to ask my attorney. She's probably in there doing a trademark right now. She's 30 feet away.
Yeah.
And we put these things out there. They make sense. They're good marketing. They're just a little feature in the background, right? So, if you're going to go stop at a gas station and you see Shell oil on it, even if it's branded as, Rickers or Fast Stop or, Quick Shit or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You want to see that this fuel is a trustworthy brand and that the thing behind what they do is, that feature is good. And so the right way to utilize what we do is to put our logos smaller than yours. And don't ever link them to anything of mine that isn't one of our resource page links that is 100% branded to you and cookied to you. We cookie everybody that visits from your website so that if they then back out and go, oh, I kind of like that feature. I just learned about a recall check and a structural warranty from Joey's website. And I'm going to back out and then I'm going to go research it on the internet and they end up back at one of our sites. We know who they are and we skin it with you. That's your client. That's awesome. They belong to you. 100% of our database is they belong to our inspectors. We don't use them for anything that an inspector doesn't click. And there is no way, there is not a single methodology that you can go to any of our sites and find a home inspector, Oh, cool.
Yeah.
It's so great that you promoted me, that you were a good partner with me and trusted me. And then every one of your clients that comes to my site, I'm so sloppy and lazy as a vendor and without resources that I don't plant a cookie on them. And I'm willing to put out a list of all the competitors. For what purpose?
Yeah.
That offends me to my core because I'm a hardworking guy. And if I'm going to bring in a client and work hard to market to them like you do, and somebody takes them from me, while I'm paying them, by the way,
Yep.
that's punishable by a spear through the throat.
No. And you know, you bring up a great point too, because there's companies that if you partner with them, they'll take your information and take your client's information and sell it probably 10 different ways, you know, and for way more than probably the home inspection fee. I mean, it adds up to probably way more than the home inspection fee when they get done selling that one client information.
I disagree with that. We want to be careful about how we how we alarm and alert home inspectors to things. And what you just said there, it's not a bad thought, Joey. It's just untrue. So if you were to take all of the things that you can do with an inspector's quote information and then try to sell it, this is lettuce. It goes bad very quickly, and it's not like anyone should be concerned that whatever they are. Damn, losing my mind today. Nobody should be concerned that an insurance company, AmFam, American Family, bought HomeGauge. You should not be concerned about that. You should not be concerned about that database. And I have the proof because there is a file room of file cabinets of over 250,000 home inspection reports, full everything, full files. And, my parents are getting old. So I went ahead and went online and said, who wants to buy 250,000 full data? I'm just assuming I'll either inherit it or I can and grab it really quick. And no takers, not at $5 per, not at $3 per, not at $1 per. Wow. So your customer data is actually worthless.
Yeah.
The ability to interact with a customer during a certain period of time has certain levels of value. And it's my position, always has been, that the inspector should control that 100% start to finish. It's their guy. And that's why, our systems have over 1,000 different triggers that you can change and say, this part of the experience that Nathan came up with in his crazy laboratory, I don't really like. I'm going to turn that off. This part, I don't like it happening on that day. I'd like it to delay to this day. This message, I can change. I can add in my own HTML and say something different to my clients. And that's the level of, it's a level that vendors can't usually get to is the problem. And they never, and a lot of them today aren't hitting scale before they fail. It used to be, it was the same vendors every single year at all the events. Now it's like, there's a new one and 2 years from now.
City.
Yeah. I mean, so anyway, next, I'm rambling. Go.
So I think on one of our episodes, we talked about that, I think it was with home inspectology is like, he goes, before it was just like the same vendors and now it's like vendor city. There's I think there's like maybe like 3, 4, 5 new vendors at every conference we go to. We're seeing somebody new that's there, selling information. How in your mind, how do you filter that?
Well, most of them aren't info marketers for clarity. There are not a lot of info marketers in the home inspection industry. There really never have been. There's, Savvy Inspector, MIC, IEB, and Inspection Go. There's your 4. And then there's a couple of like, dudes in their basement. They're like Joe Biden's and they're online. And they're promoting to home inspectors that they have some piece of information that's valuable. And it's like, you've never heard of me. I've been in the industry for like 4 years. I was a fireman or whatever. And now I'm going to teach you how to be successful. Okay. Good. And info marketing as an industry is a tough one. 80+% of clients are gone within 6 months and never come back. So you can only rotate through that so many times in the home inspection industry before you realize in your info marketing program that you're basically going to have the same core people and be about the same size once you hit, this plateau forever. And I'm sorry to give you the bad news on that. But as far as your other question was, or you mentioned Barry Cohen and Inspectology, and you guys did all right on your podcast with him. What is Barry Cohen? He's a dude that analyzes stuff like inspectors do, and I'm glad he's doing that. I think there's a problem with that approach though, because he has vendors on there that are not good for home inspection businesses that should come with a warning label. So presenting them and obviously I appreciate the guy. I probably own 30 to 40% of all the vendors that are on his site of all the vendors in the industry. So, thanks for the promotion, but it can hurt an inspector if they take any time to research something that isn't what it should be. Here, I'll give you an example of one that is nuts. Have you ever heard of Digital Environmental?
No.
Neither of you. Okay, so they started showing up at a couple of, I don't know if they showed up to a show, but they started showing up as a vendor with ASHI in the InterNACHI newsletter, and then I started getting some interesting statements made by inspectors. It's marketed as a mold survey machine. It's $200, and you walk in a house with this mold survey machine, and it will do a particle count. All it is a particle counter. It is not a mold tester. It can't differentiate between other particles and molds. It can't differentiate between particles of bad molds that in low quantities can be a problem. So you have this $200 thing that is, it's not that the thing isn't a useful device. It could be.
Yeah.
But it's being marketed as something that it isn't. Scientifically, it is not.
Yeah.
And it's being sold to inspectors as an official ASHI vendor, as an official advertiser on an InterNACHI newsletter. So it must be credible.
Yeah.
And there are inspectors buying them and using them that don't understand this. So, should they be on Barry's Inspectology website? No. If they are there, they should come with a damn warning label.
Yeah. Well, I think what Barry's trying to do is just try to, if there's a vendor that's part of the inspection industry, he's trying to make it easy for inspectors to go to one site and then do their own research rather than go through to different web pages and all that sort of thing. So that's I think, from that standpoint, it makes it easier for inspectors to go there.
Hold on, Joey. Joey, 1 second. There's a little one behind you, and I want you to turn around and say, "Get off your PS4. Dad's working."
Get off your PS4. Hey, no, but you make a really great point. Just because there's a vendor that's approved by somebody doesn't mean that you as an inspector shouldn't be doing your own research. You have to do your research for these companies before you use it. And any partnership.
Let's go back to your word value. Let's go back to your word value. What is the value?
You came on our podcast, but what did you do? You researched us before coming on here. You watched our episodes. You did your research, so you knew what you were prepped to do. Home inspectors need to do the same thing when they're partnering up with somebody or they're working with a vendor. That's their job to do that. It's not Barry's job to filter that. He's just bringing them the information, and then it's the inspector's job to do that.
Well,
but there has to be some accountability on the inspector before picking a vendor. If they think digital,
hold on. I gotta stop you there because there's an association that was paid good membership dues by 5,000, 6,000 ASHI members, by 20,000 or 30 million or whatever Nick says this week, InterNACHI members. They all paid membership dues, and that membership organization, in one way or another, directly or indirectly, took money from a device that is being marketed fraudulently. So
Yeah.
are you saying, because we can't have it both ways. If the associations are legitimate and credible,
Yeah.
they should be filtering that. They should be saying this isn't okay. There was a group that was marketing an unlawful violation of insurance law and the deceptive consumer trade practices, both.
Yeah.
And they were able to buy booths and confuse inspectors. It's like, wait a second.
No, yeah.
Everyone needs to do their due diligence.
You're exactly right. Yeah, you're exactly right. And I agree. I agree with you there. I definitely do. Why are you promoting something that's unlawful to the? It's reckless, and I understand where you're coming from there. But but inspectors need to do their own. I think what we're all in agreement with is you have to do your own research.
Everyone does. Yes.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Don't rely on ASHI or INNACHI's approval, just before you pick something.
Yeah.
Look into that, research.
Well, don't rely on it because you can't.
No, wait, Nathan, take a deeper dive.
Oh man. If you
take a deeper dive.
You deep dive this.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You deep dive.
I'm going to ship Joey a thesaurus.
Here. I invite any home inspector anywhere in the US and Canada to come to Carmel, Indiana. It's our headquarters. We have offices now in 4 different states. But we have 4 offices, 4 different office buildings here in central Indiana. But we have 2 main ones. They're our headquarters. And any inspector in the land, come on by unannounced during normal business hours for most. We are open 24/7. The doors are always locked with magnet keys, but you can ring a doorbell. We don't allow visitors outside of 9 to 5. But there are people here answering the phones for inspectors, taking claims, talking to your clients, and delivering for them. You can come and you can test our Breeze radon machines, our Breeze environmental testers. You can stop by the Breeze manufacturing facility and see we just expanded it. It's now 6,500 square feet with warehousing, 3 docks, and we're about to build a first ever dual calibration system that will make for the most accurate radon test in the world's history. Come here, do a deeper dive, do your due diligence. You will find that you probably don't like me, and that's okay, because I would rather you just straight up hate me, but go, wow, that's good stuff, than go, I really like that guy, so I'm going to use his stuff. That's horrible. That's the worst way to make a business decision. Anyway. So no, I actually intentionally make myself out to be, kind of a dick. It's an act. It's an act. Like, seriously.
I like the abrasive personality, because you're cutting through the BS. And as someone who's not, you're born into the home inspection industry, being there at 6, it's your life. You've obviously done an amazing job scaling it and getting into other stuff, and that's really incredible. But as someone who's not in the home inspection industry, it really helps me getting that perspective of someone who's just going to say, all right, I'm not sugarcoating this. I'm going to say, this is actually how it is. I'm not listening I'm doing the metric stuff. Like your survey, if anyone wants to check that out, go to nathanthornberry.com. Really impressive survey and home inspection. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you said that was the largest home inspection consumer survey?
The largest survey for that has ever been done in the home inspection industry. It was done by a third party. The demographics are all documented. You can actually just go to nathan.tv and you'll see home inspection survey, a banner across the top. Click on that. Check out inspectionsuccess.net. And and here's the thing: if you're in the home inspection industry and you want to just send me an email that says, I hate your guts, and this is what I think, and tell me why I'm wrong, send it to nathan@nathanthornberry.com, nathan@nathanthornberry.com. And, I'll answer eventually. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
It'll happen eventually.
Well, Nathan, that's one of the things that I personally love about you is you're unapologetically you, and you face your adversaries, and that says a lot about who you are and your character. And just, I want to come visit your headquarters and look at all the cool stuff you're doing. Maybe me and Jake need to come up there and see all the great stuff that you have going on. But I strongly encourage inspectors, if he's giving you an open invitation, I would take it, because you are doing incredible stuff for our industry. And you make no excuses about what you're doing. And, like you said, it's not about you. Come look at my products. Come look at my services.
Yeah.
They speak for themselves, and I love that. I really do. So you're doing a lot of great things, and me and Jake are lucky to have you on here today. We really are.
Let's do it. Let's do it
Gave us
I
again.
some time.
would love to.
Let's do it
again
man.
sometime. And next time we'll talk about. Let's see. What should we talk about next time? Oh, because you didn't give me a subject, a topic.
No, so anything
just
you
wanna
want.
go, baby.
Anything you want. Whatever you want to do, we're in.
All right. Let's see.
What should we talk about?
Well, we can talk about a lot of things. A financial analysis of our warranty packages for inspectors when you include our warranty dealer opportunities. And, basically, if I have a whiteboard and a single inspector and I go, all right, here's all these things that you're doing. You're getting paid by some, ADT dealer or whatever. And here's this other thing that you're selling your client information to for X amount of dollars. Well, let's take that and analyze your customer service cost, your cost of refunds, et cetera. We put that all together. We then take our warranty cost and then the benefits from a well-executed warranty sales operation. We win every time.
Let's do that. I think that is so valuable for people, inspectors, to see, especially multi-inspectors that are not using residential warranty services, to see how much compared to what they're refunding. I think that's valuable for our listeners, especially, if you're just starting out. I always tell inspectors too, you want to make sure you're doing things right from the beginning, then rather grow and then clean up stuff on the back end. And that's kind of how we grew as a company. We grew so fast, so quickly that I didn't know what the hell I was doing other than just like putting my pedal to the metal to grow. And then I just remember like a year in, like you end up having to clean up so much stuff. And my ex at the time, she was very process and I'm more vision. And I remember she left her job and helped us clean up so much stuff. You'd rather have all this stuff put in place from the get-go.
Yeah.
And then you just scale.
And maybe
it makes it a lot easier.
Maybe the next one, you guys can just, instead of being, lazy zoomers at your homes or wherever you're at.
Yeah.
COVID.
Whatever. Come here and we'll have my video crew follow us through our marketing department and see all the machines and the people working. We can go have that whiteboard session live with like multiple camera views, and we can pick different personalities from the office, and we can play that role. And I'm thinking, that I can be Michael, of course.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
All right.
I love it. Well, man, yeah.
Go. So let's arrange that. Let's do it live, really live.
Let's do it.
I'm
down. Let's get it. Yeah, we'll work on getting that scheduled, and that would be fabulous. That'd be awesome. We'd love that.
All right.
All right. So thank you very much, Nathan. And thank you to all our listeners for tuning in to Inspection Pro Joe, episode 9. We had a little bit of a different show today. It was a little more exciting, and I'm very happy to have Nathan on for that. So thank you.